Good morning, folks, and welcome to KX on the Go. I'm Tyler Flipson. A man in North Dakota is now being charged in federal court for sex crimes involving a minor. A sheriff's deputy in Burleigh County says he was contacted by a victim in the case who says a man, Drew Henderson, had been sending a girl who was underage at the time inappropriate text and pictures on social media. Investigators with the North Dakota BCI say Henderson, who lives in Bowman, had told the team that he was working with a government agency to find pictures of missing and exploited people on the dark web. Investigators got a warrant and talked to Henderson, who told them he had to change his number after his old phone was hacked. But people who worked with Henderson said they seen him using two different phones the same day. Henderson told investigators that for more than 15 years, he'd been working for the company Project 1591, which seeks to help victims of sex trafficking. A supervisor with the company says Henderson signed up for an account which is open to the public, but had not completed any of the training, and that volunteers are never told to access the dark web to look for pictures or video involving exploited children. Henderson will be in federal court this week for a detention hearing. He now faces 4 counts in federal court, including sexual exploitation of a child and receipt of child pornography. So far, Henderson's trial is scheduled to happen in March. The Minot Public School District held a strategic planning community focus group on Monday, gathering input from folks on what they want to see in the future. To help guide them through the early stages of planning, the school district invited Jeff Schatz. Schatz is a Fargo-based consultant who specializes in strategic planning. The focus group was designed to gather input from local leaders and people with different perspectives as an initial step in this planning process. He says this feedback helps the strategic planning committee by identifying what the community believes are the most important priorities for the school district.
I see a really collaborative environment. I see a real positive environment. There seems to be a good connection between the school district and the city and the parks and all the other organizations that come together to make your city. People are very proud about their school district here. And so really moving forward and looking to the future, it's just how do we maintain that and how do we make sure that we're providing the best possible education for our kids.
The Minot superintendent says they hope to have a new strategic plan within the next few months. Well, tourism is a big part of North Dakota's economy, and leaders in one town are coming together to help bring more people to our state locally and statewide this upcoming year. Tourism numbers in Minot were down 6.7% in 2025. Stephanie Shanerock, the executive director of Visit Minot, says there are several factors that led to this decline, one of which is a significant drop in Canadian visitors. Shanerock says the number of people from Canada visiting the Magic City went down roughly 20% last year due to economic conditions, exchange rates, and political sentiment. Shanerock says tourism does have an economic impact on the community, with about 30% of spending in tourism-related categories like hotels, restaurants, and retail coming from visitors outside of Ward County. Despite this, Shanerock says Minot is continuing to work on bringing this number back up.
We look at metrics all over the place. We look at web traffic. We look at our stats to social. We look at, we have stats from like phones to see how many people are coming to town. We look at hotel occupancy. We look at so many different factors of what impacts tourism. I do believe that learning of those things and inspecting them is what gives us an advantage going into 2026 of this is what we've learned and this is what we can do to combat that.
Shanerock says North Dakota as a whole saw a 6.5% drop in tourism in 2025. Good morning, Andre.
And good morning to you too, Tyler. And it looks like right now here in the great city of Watford City, we are seeing those mostly cloudy to cloudy conditions. And as you can kind of tell on our KX cam, it is a little bit wobbly right now because of those winds out of the west at 15 miles per hour. And our current temperature is at 39 degrees. And as we head over into the Garrison area, we are seeing a temperature of 39 degrees as well, with those winds out of the west at 22 miles per hour. Now, what to expect throughout the day today? Well, well. The windy conditions are going to continue for the time being, and also we're expecting those mild temperatures to continue for our Tuesday as well. And then once we get into our day today too, we're going to be watching for some precipitation chances. Now, looking at our current storm team radar right now, folks, we are watching that rainfall continuing to increase in our south and western areas, including here in the Dickinson area and even near Bowman and Hettinger and into our eastern Montana counties. And this is going to continue to move its way towards the south and east. Otherwise, we are seeing those mostly cloudy conditions in our south central counties and mostly clear to partly cloudy conditions in our northern areas. Now, our winds are out of the north and west about 10 to 25 miles per hour, and this is why the rainfall is moving towards the south and east. So that's something really cool to kind of observe in real time, if you will. And our wind gusts in some locations are about 20 to 40 miles per hour, including in Rolla, which has been kind of the high mark this morning, all morning long, about 35 miles per hour. And as far as our current temperatures, our temperatures at the moment are mainly in the 30s, in the 40s, so it is a relatively mild start to our day for North Dakota standards, and you really only needed a light jacket if you needed that. Now, we are going to continue to watch our cold front move through over the next 12 to 24 hours, and with that, the gusty winds will continue throughout the day today and those precipitation chances too. Now, looking at our precision cast, this is about right now, and it's analyzing things pretty good this morning, and we're going to continue to watch that rainfall move its way towards the south and the east over time. Around lunchtime, we will continue to see that in our southwestern areas, and by the time we get into the rest of the afternoon, we will be watching for those scattered showers potentially in our north and eastern counties. I'm giving about a 20 to 30% chance, so we'll be watching that carefully, and that's going to continue into the evening and overnight hours potentially, maybe in the form of some flurries. We'll be watching that closely. Now, looking at our wind gusts, we're going to continue to see our wind gusts of around 20 to 40 miles per hour, and that's going to continue into the evening. But once we get into the late evening and overnight hours, we will see those wind gusts finally calming down, and we'll be like, if you will. Now, looking at our highs for today, mainly climbing up into the 30s and 40s, so it is going to be quite a warm day. And once we get into tonight, temperatures will drop down into the 20s and teens for the most part, and even some single digits there in our north and eastern counties. Now, we're going to continue to see that cold front move through this evening into our Wednesday, and again, that is going to drop those temperatures down ever so slightly for our Wednesday, especially for our eastern counties. And here in Williston, we're also going to see those temperatures drop into the 30s for our Wednesday, and 30s will continue into our Thursday with maybe some snow chances for Thursday and Friday, with those windy conditions returning too, and temperatures will also drop down into the 20s on our Friday and into our Saturday as well. Now, looking here in Dickinson, we're also going to be following a similar pattern with declining temperatures over the next several days, with maybe even some small snow chances on Thursday and Friday. Now, looking here in the Magic City, we're going to be seeing 40s today, 30s for tomorrow, and then 30s for our Thursday with snow chances, and then teens for our Friday and Saturday, and 20s for our Sunday and our Monday. And here in the capital city too, we will be seeing those temperatures overall decrease through our Saturday, and then increasing somewhat as we get into our Sunday and Monday, with those snow chances for our Thursday and Friday. So it looks like today, Tyler, we're going to be watching the wind, the warm temperatures, and a little bit of wet conditions. So the 3 W's.
The 3 W's, www dot, a little something like that. It's like it's a box of chocolates. This week has everything. You can't beat it. Thank you, Andre. And thank you for watching. This has been KXL on the Go. I'm Tyler Flipson. Have a great day, folks.